500,000.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of I Interrupted My Wife. Go ahead.
500,000 is going to cost me 500 gold.
That doesn't sound like too much.
When I've got over 1.9 million gold.
Oh.
Nothing.
We bought some land and are building a castle. I mean, it's using modern technology, but you know.
Yeah, right. Maggie.
So we got home and I took Lucky out for a walk. I forgot to take our other little boy with us. John. So my wife takes him outside, and he is the same way with her as he is with me.
Yeah, he almost walked out the door. He wasn't going to run out, but he was just kind of like sniffing the air.
Yeah, he likes going outside, and Socks likes riding in cars. How many cats like going outside and riding in cars? And I don't believe it. She's trying to nurse. I'm surprised she's even letting her.
Well, she's probably not getting much. You know.
And it made me more comforting.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, she's just not interested in letting her do that. Also, Socks.
Just comforting them a little bit. You know.
Socks likes Lucky, who's in my lap. Lucky has scratched himself till he's bleeding.
Well, please, damn please.
Socks likes Lucky, but Lucky is still afraid. Yeah, because
not her.
Mama will still occasionally swipe at him. But we bought 2 books today on cats. One I think is titled Cat Daddy, and I forget the other one. But and John is still a John in the box. He still likes his boxes right down here. He likes it a little more than Socks does. Oh, he's looking at shadows right now. Is the wind chime over here behind me is casting a shadow, a moving shadow on this lap desk we bought, and he's just watching it go round and round and round. Surprised he hasn't pounced yet. Anyway, I got a picture of a road sign that says Falling Rock, and then I got a picture of the Falling Rock, singular. We only have one rock that falls, mind you, at least between those 2 road signs, one. Okay, now on to the last video I made. I'm not even gonna...
Another idiot. Sorry, something.
Oh, there were 4 comments on it. I'm not even going to look at them because they're a bunch of idiots. Look, I watched the Atheist Experience once. Actually, I used to watch a lot of it. And there is some good on there, but they expose themselves as being state theists, not atheists.
But what is the difference between the two?
An atheist has no God, doesn't worship anything, and uses a lowercase a, not an uppercase A, because you use that uppercase A, your atheism becomes a religion. But a state theist versus somebody who's a real atheist, a state theist believes you need the state. They worship the state. Socialist, communist, fascist, monarchist, European republicanist, or republicanism, European republicanism. These are all state theists that claim to be atheists because they hide behind the reasonability of science, the reasonableness of science. They keep their politics there, thinking that because from the scientific perspective they get things right, that therefore their state worship is also legitimate and good and right and all that. But I've seen what the state can do. I was born and lived under Franco. I lived in Germany after that, after we escaped Franco, and my best friend's parents were from Yugoslavia. Steffi was his name.
Oh, they're Yugoslavian?
Yeah, they were
I
Yugoslavian.
thought they were German.
Well, the kids were all German, but the parents were from Yugoslavia. Because
But they're Yugoslavian blood.
yeah. Now, Herr Braun was a German soldier during the war. So, I guess you could say I have first-hand knowledge of what it was like because I had him, Steffi's dad, yeah. And Steffi's dad was forced. He was drafted. He had no choice in the matter. In Spain, the way it was the Guardia Civil would come to your house,
Maggie.
and they would say you're in the army.
Maggie.
You had a choice. Yeah, you had a choice. Oh my. She was up on that the other day.
Yeah.
And you had a choice. You could say no, and people did. And guess what happened to them when they said no?
They shot you.
Yeah, they shot you. They took you outside, put you up against a wall, and shot you.
That's a bunch of bullshit, too.
And we went through a lot of our slides, but I haven't found certain slides yet, and I'm not interested in going through any right now.
Not right now.
But I have slides of the Spanish Army. It wasn't something you wanted to be a part of. Now, yeah, there was...
Oh, nice party.
there was...
They had good beer.
Well,
Yeah, right.
there was the I don't know how you say, the flashy, well-uniformed, well-dressed, proper soldiers that were in the parades in Madrid. Those were the people that you Americans saw on the TV. That's not what we saw. We saw these idiots marching up and down our streets. And believe me, they didn't look all flashy. Short shirt sleeves, one shirt sleeve was the right length and the other was way down here.
Well, can't help it that the tailor was drunk.
Uniforms were dirty. Wool, by the way.
So they didn't know what water was.
Yeah.
What water was, huh?
In southern Spain, in the middle of summer, we're in a wool uniform.
Oh, God.
It may not be as hot as South Texas, but it's still hot.
I bet they're about ready to
Die,
go out and
yeah.
shoot themselves just to get out of that damn uniform. You know?
And
Wool is not meant for summer. It's Karachi.
And there are a number of people here in New Carey, formerly known as New Hampshire, that are from Eastern Europe, who say that actually in many ways things are worse now in the United States than they were in the Soviet Union. Why? Because the United States government can track you in ways the Soviets could not. But we know people that are in jail and in prison for non-crimes. Anyway, and look, one episode of the Atheist Experience that really turned me off of those idiots was they read this letter written by a guy who either had little or no education or was a foreigner, and English was definitely not his native language. And all they did was ridicule the guy. If that's all you can do is ridicule somebody that disagrees with you, I want nothing to do with you. Nothing. And there's also a lot of scientism on the Atheist Experience. There's a worship of science.
Yelling at people too.
And yelling at people. I don't need to.
I mean, they're not talking in a normal tone of voice. Don't like they're screaming.
And it's like there are these. And my wife's a Christian, by the way. And I used to.
If you start your atheist shit with me, I'm liable to shoot you right in the face.
Yeah, and there's what was?
Because I'm not going to put up with the crap.
Trying to think of that guy's name. He's in Florida. And he believes in there are 3 different kinds of alien beings, and each one has a different colored blood. And he's a Southern Baptist type, extreme fundamentalist, King James only guy. Peter Ruckman, or I think that may be it. The people at the Atheist Experience and a lot of the new atheists and Atheist Plus You're just like that. You're just like this guy. You're just like the very people you say you disagree with. You're just like this idiot in Kansas or wherever, that goes.
The hypocrites.
The guy who goes.
The ones that protest at the funeral.
Yeah.
Those son of a bitches, I'd shoot them just because they walked in front of me. It's like, you're a hypocrite.
Now, I have enjoyed watching some videos of people basically mocking those people, in part because they actually have no idea what's going on. They'll have a guy walk up to him and, oh, you're sexy. And he doesn't even realize that this guy is coming on to him. Although it's not real. I mean, they're playing with him. And I generally don't enjoy that type of BS. But when you become the same as your enemy, there's a problem. I saw the destruction in Germany. There was still a lot that was in ruins in Germany when I lived there. You have to understand, I was born only like 20 years after the war. And I lived there shortly, well, a few years after I was born. And most of the people we knew in Germany were Spanish. I mean, we were Spanish. We, naturally gravitated toward our own, our own food, our own culture, our own language. So, I have to admit that our introduction to Germany was limited, I guess you would say, because we gravitated toward our own. So most of the people we knew were fellow Spaniards. I mean, that's just the way it was. I mean, if I were to go to Germany today, I would gravitate probably toward Americans, because I don't speak Spanish anymore. And there are certain things about Spanish culture I don't know anymore, some things I never knew. For instance, and I can't remember the term, there's a phrase where in the Americas, in Latin America and the rest of the Americas, a woman can use that particular phrase, and it doesn't mean anything in particular. It's just, it means what it means. There's no other meaning to it. But in Espanol, if a woman says that, that means she's loose. So you have to understand that. And there are also regional dialects and stuff like that. But I don't speak Spanish anymore. And if I went to Spain today, I would definitely not gravitate toward Americans. I would avoid them like the plague. In Germany, it would just be natural because there would be people I could talk to. Because they speak English, Americans speak English, I speak English. In Spain, I would just keep my mouth shut. And I would pick up whatever I could and figure out whatever I could. And, that's just, I think that's the way with most people, you're going to gravitate toward what you know, what you understand. But, anyway, so yeah, I'm not even going to bother with you guys because I know the truth about what you are and who you are. And you're being dishonest about it, and I don't appreciate that. You're lying. You're pretending to be something you're not. You're a bunch of state theists. You know it. And a lot of atheist friends of mine, they acknowledge this. Some of us talk about it. And, I mean, of all people, Atheist Plus, that, just the whole, I mean, you define Atheist Plus, what else is it but state theism? So, see, I believe in a voluntary society. And I don't believe in force or violence or anything like that except in self-defense. But anyway, that's all I have to say. I mean, I'm just not going to try and argue with you idiots, because sadly that's what you are.
Don't waste your energy.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm not going to waste anything on you. And you know, most of my videos, very few of my videos are about atheism, religion, etc. Very few, but you go and watch your channels, it's all about the love of the state, Marx, Stalin, science, and atheism. And I'm not supposed to come away believing you're not state theist? Come